let's do a watercolor. So I'm going to live vicariously through things on this phone. And let's see, just to remind you that I'm not what you call normal. We have just under recents 162,389 photos. So, and what I saw this morning, some cool charcoal. Look at this guy. This was amazing. Really kind of religious. But really nice work with charcoal. So, you know, kind of like what we do. This I did because I'm trying to show the students, if you don't want to be an animator, you don't want to be a comic book artist, you don't want to do anything sequential, you have to draw the same thing over and over again, then just copy the shadow patterns. Look at that. There's no skull here. There's nothing here that works, but you can copy it, and it works. You know, it's fine. This is Sargent, and he's a badass dude. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy. We're going to paint from Sargent. We'll change it. So I have these two images that I took. I like this one, but I don't have a lot of time, so we're going to do. This is a hard pose to do, so we'll do this one. Okay. So here's what I got. This is a leather cover, and I met a guy from Innovative Journaling, and he's amazing and incredible work. And I gave him stuff. He gave me a ton of beautiful leather stuff. So this is really cool. And then the paper inside is just from Amsterdam. I just got it. And it's from the Rembrandt Museum, which was really fun. If you guys get a chance to go there, you know, it's his house, and you get to walk through and see how he lived and stuff. So it's really, really cool. And so we got that. So this is an overworked gouache. And this is an overworked watercolor, kind of gouache watercolor thing. And then all of a sudden, boom, there it is. And this one is fresh. I like it. You know, it's watercolor. You know, it's not overdone. So the thing is, you gotta do a lot. You gotta practice. And it's the only thing in the world where, you know, every time you touch a pencil and you put it on paper, it's artwork. No, it's not. It's not artwork. It's used to get to play, to do the artwork. So we have to put in thousands of hours so that when you finally sit down to do something that you want to call artwork and the world wants to call artwork, then it's work. I've seen people buy my paintings. I saw a couple buy a giclée. Giclées are really crazy. You spend it's like $50 for the giclée, maybe $100. They're beautiful. I mean, a custom place, you know, we're really careful getting the color just right. As soon as you sign and number it, $750. And I watched a couple buy one. I was off, you know, in the gallery, and I was sitting by the side. And it was just such a cool feeling that they spent that kind of money just on a print that I signed and numbered. So I sell artwork. I'm in a gallery. I have paintings hanging in museums, in church. I have a painting hanging in a church. I told the students, what does my painting and Jesus have in common? And they said, what? I said, they're both still hanging in the church. So I will burn in hell for that. I know I have paintings hanging in private collections from big ones, you know, mansions, Getty Center, you know, from the Getty Mansion, not the Getty, you know, from Catalina, the Wrigley Mansion. I have a painting hanging in there. So I know what it feels like to be an artist, but the joy is leading up to being the artist. That's the big deal. So I have a new business I want to do, so I'll share it with you. It's called Sheldon's Golf Place for People Who Golf Good. And what it is one of those places where you get like a bucket of the balls, you know, and then they hit the balls, and I don't know, it's a guy thing, you know, they like to play with the balls. But my place, you give me money, cash only. You give me the money, and what's going to happen is you're going to give me the money, and then I'm going to give you a bucket with just one ball in it. Okay? A lot of times people say only one ball. Why only one? And I say, because I thought you were good. So we're the only thing that I know out there where every time we pick up a pencil or a brush, it has to be like beautiful artwork. No, it doesn't. Get that out of your mind. Do a lot of junk and to get that really one or two. So this is a good painting. I like it, and it feels good. This one's a girl I met in Amsterdam at the I met a girl at a hotel. No, that doesn't work for me. She was the hostess in the restaurant, and she was a sweetheart, and she had such an interesting face. So I asked her, I said, I don't usually do this, but can I take your picture? You have a face. She was an artist, she was definitely an artist. So we've been painting her a lot at the school. This one here, I'm just working on the planes. And then when you get to a page like this where it's called a center spread, leave it alone because that would be good for like a landscape. So I do that. And there she is again. And you can see I'm just really working on the rhythms and the planes. So it's fun. And then here's some landscapes. See? This is from Holland. Just real simple. Okay. This was fun. This was at the Getty. So, and if you're going to paint at the Getty, you better make sure you're, kind of off to the side. See, it's off to the side. This was the Getty. Another one from the Getty. It's from our school. Totally overworked. Just studying. Beat it up. Kill the painting. You're not going to show it. You don't have to show it to anybody. Okay. This is a piece of junk when it was done at the school. Just beat the crap out of it. This was last week at the school. It's starting to work. A little overworked, kind of fresh. Okay, so what we're going to do is we got that. This I bought on a vacation once. And it was pretty cool. And I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. But you put water in here. So I put water in here. And then somebody was advertising this was watercolor. And I thought, I have this for oil. So we cleaned out the oil, the linseed oil. And so I have this for water. But I don't really need it. I'm going to be showing you guys some really beautiful brushes. Because, again, I'm, crazy. And there are people out there who are really nice to me. So I've got beautiful brushes. I got $300 brushes. I got, sets of $700 brushes with silver. This my wife bought me years ago as a gift, and it's really cool. So it's just this little, really cool. See, and this is Graham watercolor. It's beautiful. And what I found that I like is just painting with the water brushes. So I've got these really beautiful pure sable brushes, and I'm having fun with the these water brushes. Pretty wild, huh? Okay, so so with painting, can you guys see this? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, and okay, my head's kind of chopped off, but let's see, I think you want to be able to see what I'm painting better. You don't want to see me. Okay, so the shape of the face. So notice here's the paint. See it? Okay, I want to be able to see it. Make sure you got it. So here's where all the paint is. I'm painting from around it, these areas, because it's watercolor. So there's the shape. I'm going to go for the big shape. Just grab the tone. She's got a really long neck. If you're just going to paint, you really don't need to know all your anatomy. It's good to know it, of course, but, it's not absolutely. It really just shapes and edges, Here we go. Let's see, get my hand in here. Okay. This is a tough one because you have the little eye on the other side just kind of poking out. The eyes are halfway, nose is halfway, mouth is halfway. And then I try to think of this as like a little slice of pizza coming out. I'm just looking at the shapes. It's got a real pretty triangle shape. There's your center line. Walk along, feel the side plane. See? Then if you do a like a perspective, you know, from corner to corner, that'll tell you where your jaw is. So we get it accurate, and then the ear is right behind the jaw. So see, from here to here, and then halfway, if you draw like this perspective, that'll get you your jaw, and then the ear is right behind. It's nice to be able to see everybody, not just have, you know, just drawing a hand. I think Corey had a really good idea. All Corey's ideas are good ideas. And then the mouth. If you're having trouble drawing the features, we have an entire video dedicated to just drawing the head and the features. Just go to it. It's on Instagram. I mean, it's on YouTube. It's free. It's got real detail. And we break down, you know, how to draw each part. Okay. So I go top, side, square, face. I've never even seen that TV show, but it seems to work. Top, side, square, face. Okay, and here's the cheek. Little Riley there. It's your jaw. I studied with Fred Fixler for 6 years. And, well, at the same time studying with Vilpu, Brian Eastman, and everybody else at Brandis Art Institute. I get all the classes I wanted while teaching several classes and being on the board of directors and being a counselor. All at the age of 20 years old, 21 years old, from the age of 20 on. So Riley's great. It's nothing really new. It's kind of the same stuff. So there's your lay-in. See it? We got that? Okay. Now let's have some fun putting the shadows. I like green. It's important to me. My students always ask me why. I say, because it's in the Bible. They say, but you've never read the Bible. I said, I know. That's why I'm confident that it's there. Because I've never even opened it. And so they go, what do you mean? I go, well, see the Garden of Eden. I think that's somebody who told me about it. Green. The burning bush thing, well, the bush was green. A lot of green stuff, you know. They split the ocean. Well, the water was kind of green. It's all there. So I like green. Whatever color you like, use that for your key color. Is there have to be a definite reason for it? No, just how do you like your cheeseburger? Okay, here we go. The cheeseburger philosophy. So I'm going to grab a little brown here. I'm just mostly water. You're painting about 80% water. We can key it, put a little dark right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so everybody stop. Take your finger, rub it on the side of your nose, rub it on the side of your cheek. And that's what we do with the brush. We actually rub it on that turning plane that wherever we're painting. And grab a little orange, a little red, and kill it back with a complement and some blue. Okay, add a little schmutz. brownish schmutz. There we go. Just rub it on the corner of the nose right there. Real gentle. Boom. When I teach color at the school now, I use what I call schmutz. And my granddog's here. She's amazing. We're watching her. And she really knows what the really good dirt is in the backyard. So I had her show me, and I brought the dirt into the classroom. And I just mixed the dirt in with the paint. And the dirt kills the chroma. I'm going to burn in hell for this stuff. I guess, my legacy is going to say didn't take himself that serious. So, with all the talk of using the complements and everything to kill the saturation, just put some schmutz in it. Just whatever you got around, just shove it in there. Kill the chroma. Get rid of the saturation. Because the color, right out of the tube is super strong. So I think one of the worst things I never wanted to be was a Sunday painter. I was told that when I was younger about being a Sunday painter. So I have this real insulting thing. So let's see. Old ladies and old men too paint lilies in the old age home, which is fine, on Sundays out of the tube. So old people paint lilies out of the tube on Sundays. Old people paint lilies out of the tube on Sundays in the old age home. There you go. So, I don't know. My old boss, her dad died in his 90s, was painting every day. Serious painting. Her mom's 104. I think she's still doing artwork. No reason to be old if you're going to be an artist. Now, this is gouache. I like this color. It's a little dangerous because it can get a little bit gray, but it's Naples yellow, and I just like it, I'll cut it with some green. Come over here. So it's under the zygomatic process. There's a plane. It just feels good. You can use whatever you want. Every book's going to give you a different, the ultimate colors, the ultimate this, the ultimate that. Learn to be a painter in 2 weeks. I had a person who's going to my school. She was a teacher. And she came in. She took this. I'm not going to tell you. She took this seminar with this guy. He's a good painter. Kind of full of himself. And, I've never met him. Just seen his videos and stuff. And she goes, I got the secret. I said, oh, okay, cool. What is it? You use this medium to mix your paint, and you paint from the left side to the right side. You go, that's all it is? She goes, yep, that's all it is. Oh, that's pretty interesting. So no Jewish painters, because they'll paint from the right to the left, right? Is that? Yeah. If it seems too easy to be true, it's too easy to be true. Okay, so the light's coming from here, so the other side's on shadow. So let's just grab schmutzy colors. Let's go yellow ochre, burnt umber, burnt sienna, cerulean blue. Very strategic. Okay, and then we're just going to come on the other side here, just push it back. I had a woman once, she said she spit out her coffee when she heard me say this, but don't ever give up the opportunity to dip your brush into something wet. So this is all wet area, so just go ahead and don't lose the opportunity to, put in some different colors, because it's at a nice stage of satin. Wet satin, dry. You'll learn that. Just go to the watercolor videos. It's all free. Okay, so now here's coming down from under the eye. Okay, here we go. When you're practicing your head painting, don't try to get it to be exactly. Paint a good, respectable, structured head. Because I do a lot of portraits. When you're doing the portrait, then you're just going to get in there and look at the distances. And then that'll put them on, what we call put them on model, which is an animation term. So if you want to put a character on model, you're judging the distances, from the eyebrow to the eye, to the nose. And the model sheets tell you what to do, how to do it, and you study the model sheets. Well, you can do that, same theory, when you're painting a portrait. Okay? And the better you are at judging the distances, the better the more the portrait looks like the person. And then, of course, you add in, the soul, what the person feels like. And that just comes from, if they're dead, you just talk to the people, what was the person like? Research them. I love to research. But if you don't know how to draw the human head, with structure, you're going to have a mushy head. So, you don't want to do a portrait of somebody and say, well, there's a portrait of your dead loved one with a mushy head. That can get weird. So here I'm putting in some stronger color. But it's really cool because it's wet, so I can throw in some blue. I can throw in some orange, because it's watercolor, so it just, glows and it flows. It's really fun. See? So we're just trying to get a fun, playing with the technique. This is a very loose technique. So I might put that in a portrait at some point. If the person was kind of fun and lots of energy, then that's how I'll paint the painting. Somebody who's really kind of fun. Fun. Okay, now this should be dry on this side. And it's still satiny. That little white area that's left open, that's an accident, and it's so cool. So that's fun. So we come down. See, now I measured, and the eye is actually here. And when you're measuring, you're just drawing on top of the actual person. So that'll look cartoony unless I get the values a little closer together. So I'm going to add some blue, some green. Try to keep all edges open when you do a painting, even halftones. Now I can just take the water and pull the paint up. I'm going to keep this real. You know, I'm getting ads on my phone. You're going to hear noises in the background. My boss asked a student after he became famous, you know, what did Sheldon's class do for you? And he said, you know, he made it seem like he put it in our arm's distance, like we could do it. He made us feel like we can make it. He put it within reach. And I think that's probably the most important thing about my school. And if you want to say studying with me, is that it's within reach. You know, it's not like you have to have this magic. If you want it, go do it. And now, with this combined with all the videos and a class you can take really inexpensive, you can go do it without even going to these expensive schools. And I prep people for those schools. So I taught at those schools. I don't think I was popular at the schools because I wasn't, you know, I didn't come from the wealth. So, you know, teaching in a place like Chapman for me was pretty interesting because I didn't come from that kind of life. So I wasn't impressed. Underplane, there you go. So the underplane, I have a straight line. Okay, so that's a mylohyoid. You're going to go from the chin to your hyoid bone, pretty much. Hyoid bone's down here. I don't think there's much excuses these days to not make it with all the information that's out there. Okay, light's coming here. So top, side, square, light, face, cheek. And then she drinks. She has kind of a red nose. Boom. There we go. I had a taste of a margarita yesterday and fell asleep. Just not a drinker. It was pretty funny. I always tell my college students that alcohol will make you dizzy and then pregnant. There we go. So I guess she drinks because she has, basically you have capillaries going all the way across your cheeks. So if you get drunk, you're going to possibly get a little redder there. Definitely do not need alcohol or drugs to be an artist. Just the opposite. You really need to pull from all of your experiences and knowledge and history all at the same time. So the more brain cells you have working, the better. So we don't have a lot of that problem at our school because the kids realize they're going to need all they got, all they can get to be able to do a good drawing. And since they're not copying and they're using knowledge, you know, when you're 9 years old, or I got kids that are 12 years old who can, you know, already know anatomy. So there we go. We can throw in some wash in the background. Lose the edges. So I know I've got beautiful brushes, and then I started finding myself using the ones that came. I've been buying these sets like at the Getty and stuff, and it's like Royal Nickel brush, and it's the cheapest brush. I like it, and I've got, to me a cheap brush is $100. They were given to me. I got pure sable 13, number 13, brushes up here, and now I find myself using a brush pen or a kind of a toy brush, and they just feel good. I like it. I don't know. Times are changing. Now here I'm just taking, you can take little tiny pieces and just put in. It's like 98% water. You're just staining the face. See, I'm just painting from around it. I'm not painting so much from the inside unless I wanted to get a real strong color. But here I'm just grabbing little tiny areas and just putting it in. It's real subtle, halftones. That's it. That's a study. Okay? So what you're going to do, you're going to study shape of the face, shape of the hair, proportions, rhythm chart, the planes we're done with the brush strokes or the pencil strokes. Control your values, local value. So for me, my local value is really white. I'm so white, people they just walk right through me because I'm just like clear. So whatever the local value is. And then when you're painting the color, think of your, and then of course your shadow shapes. Brad Pitt's not better looking than I am. He has better looking shadow shapes. And then when you put down the shadows, really focus on the edges. If you put a brush stroke down, you have hard edge on the brush stroke, and then try to have one soft edge on the brush stroke to lead the eye to the next brush stroke. And then that's what we're doing here. Oh no, I just gave her, oh no. Clean that up. So now she has a halftone. There we go. Halftone. Wow. What was that for a screw up? So we'll just bring this down. So when you're doing that, like here, I lose this edge. Come around. And then really, when you're thinking about the color, try not to oversaturate it. So, just kill the color. And then I like Schmidt when he talks about how he just focuses on the temperature, and so I took that and I really like it. So don't try to think too much about the actual color. Think about the temperature. I'm going to ruin this thing. There we go. Okay, so do that, but you'll notice how I have a hard edge here, and then it just softens, gets lost. So each one of these edges, each brush stroke has a hard edge, soft edge, lost edge. Okay, so that's watercolor, and we'll just keep sketching because this is do what you love. Do what you love, get good at it, make a living at it. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.